So I'm sure a lot of you have watched the Q&A by Mojang where they discuss fireflies as well as birch forest and the fact that we're not getting them in the 1.19 wild update.
Then we got great feedback from you guys in a lovely community, and you taught us that a lot of species of fireflies and firebugs that are out there are poisonous to toads and frogs. And of course we didn't want to add that into our game. So we provided the frogs with a safer food source, the tiny slimes. At Minecraft Live, we did show some concept art with birch forest improvements. However, concept art is not a commitment, and this time around, birch forest improvement is not something that we have continued working with.
Which has a lot of people discussing features that we still don't know exactly what is going on with them. In fact, Mojang constantly likes to refer back to this mysterious vault of ideas. This vault that has a bunch of ideas from previous Minecraft lives, community ideas, as well as ideas from Mojang that they just haven't shared with us. So this vault is pretty big. It has a lot of crazy concepts and ideas, so I figured why not focus on some of these ideas in today's video. What exactly is in this vault, and what do we have to look forward to in the next few years? Because no matter how we feel about 1.19, I'm always looking forward to what's next. Mojang is always plotting, Mojang is always working on something new, so could we possibly see some of these ideas in the next major update? As always, I want to say thank you guys for the support. If you haven't already, please consider joining the Stealth Army. Click that subscribe button. I'd love to see you guys around here. So with that said, let's kick it off with an OG feature. Some of you guys recall this one. It's from the Village and Pillage update, the Fletching table. You know that block that they introduced during the update Village and Pillage, which by the way is one of the best updates of all time? And this is the last thing they had to say about the Fletching table. We've decided not to add the functionality for these blocks for this update, as we want to make sure that they're useful for the overall gameplay. We have a great idea for them in the next major themed update. Now keep in mind, this was before the release of Village and Pillage. So we did get the functionality for the smithing table. But what's going on with the Fletching table? I'll let you guys speculate down below, but I have a feeling this was directly linked and tied to the new combat mechanics, which we also know that they decided to sort of take a break from that so they could focus on other features. Jens was constantly updating us on new combat mechanics version 2 or 2.0 for the Bedrock and the Java community. It had a lot of people excited on Reddit. We had a bunch of experimental snapshots, but sadly, we haven't really received any new information about the new combat mechanics or the Fletching table. So share your theories down below. I think the Fletching table could possibly tie in with new bows, possibly new arrow tips, or just a new way to craft arrow tips. Let's move on to the next idea, which in this case is several ideas. The mob losers, which are the Iceologer, the Moo Bloom, the Copper Golem, and the Glare, which Mojang has said several times before that they don't necessarily get rid of these ideas. They go into this mysterious vault of ideas where if they feel like it's suitable for the update that they're working on, they will introduce the mob.
So the question is, will Moo Bloom and the Iceologer be added in a future update?
Those mobs didn't win the mob vote, which means they go back into our big pile of ideas. So we could put them in another update if it makes sense, but we don't have to. And yeah, we might put something else in instead.
However, that hasn't necessarily happened as of right now, and I wouldn't get too worried about this because we did receive a biome loser in 1.19, which is the swamp biome, introducing the boats with a chest, mangrove swamps, and frogs. So just because something doesn't necessarily win Minecraft Live doesn't mean that it's gone forever. I guess it's just a matter of being patient and probably persistent. So we could still see the Iceologer, the Moo Bloom, the Glare, and the Copper Golem. Let me know down below in the comment section which mob you voted for during Minecraft Live. And fingers crossed as well that we could even see the older OG mob losers from Minecraft Earth 2017. That's pretty old. And let's not forget as well that Uraf already said he had some really cool ideas for introducing the copper golem into archaeology. And yes, speaking of archaeology, this is another one of those amazing, incredible ideas showcased during Minecraft Live, I believe 2020, and ever since they showcased it, there's been a lot of confusion about what's happening with this concept. And unfortunately, as a result of the pandemic and a lot of issues related to working remotely and other things that they mentioned during the split video, it just wasn't able to make it to part 1 or part 2. So it was just completely removed from the Caves and Cliffs update. But don't get me wrong, I'm still extremely excited here because Uraf has been tweeting the past year that he's really excited to get back to working on Archie. He has some really cool ideas and concepts, and it could probably be a lot bigger than when we initially saw it in 2020. So it might get a complete makeover like the Deep Dark and the Warden, which, I don't know, could we see an archaeology update? Introducing even more tools, more fossils, and artifacts. There's some pretty cool, interesting ideas. Feel free to share yours down below. Let's move on to some more ideas that are currently in this mysterious vault. And I think you guys know by now that we have been waiting for the desert biome update, the savanna biome update. In fact, all of the biome losers have been announced to come to Minecraft in a future update. Now, the only sad part about this is a lot of these features were announced back in 2018. If you go on feedback right now, you can see that meerkats were announced in 2018, ostriches were announced in 2018. We got a ton of features sitting here. The baobabs, termites, we got the cactus with the prickly pear. Like, a lot of cool ideas have been sitting here for almost 5 years. I can't do my math that quickly, but a long time. And it's just a little unfortunate that we haven't been getting some of these features sprinkled into the updates by now. But like I said, there's still hope here, which is that they haven't forgotten. They're still adding biome losers, and we're still getting features that didn't necessarily win Minecraft Live. Which I do want to point out that the birch forest technically was never announced. So is it in this mysterious vault of ideas? More than likely not. It didn't seem like that was something that they were trying to work on from the video. If you guys interpret it as them sort of taking a break from the birch forest, let me know down below. But it seems like they were not really working on that to begin with. And maybe that in and of itself is what made a lot of people upset or slightly disappointed. But regardless, we still have a lot of biomes to look forward to. Now, we also have bundles, which was a feature that was available to play around with for a period of time, and then Mojang removed bundles, and then they explained to us how they have plans to still introduce bundles in a future update, but it's not going to be in the 1.19 Wild update. Now, I'm quite curious how you guys feel about bundles if you had time to play around with them. Do you feel like this is a good solution to organization? I feel like there's a lot of cool ideas out there when it comes to even storage. I think backpacks has been one of the more popular ideas the past few years when it comes to organization and more inventory space. I feel like, though, this is something Mojang should always explore, is introducing new ways to store items or new solutions for storing and organizing items. This is really big when it comes to Minecraft because they're constantly introducing more items and more blocks every single update. And now we got the shards, we got the fragments from the Deep Dark, so there's so much coming from the ancient cities and the Deep Dark. So every new update becomes that much more challenging to stay organized. So I hope to hear new information soon about bundles and their plans. Now, if you guys want me to do a part 2, I definitely can because there's a lot of Q&As from Mojang, there's been a lot of Minecraft Lives, but these are mostly the big ones. The ones that you guys spent time on researching, on voting for during the event, and sadly, it just goes into this mysterious vault, which a lot of people consider a dead end, where they throw ideas to just sort of forget about them. I don't necessarily think that's the case, and hopefully Mojang can prove a lot of people wrong very soon with the next major update. But make sure you guys click that notification bell sign, because anytime we get new information about features, I cover it immediately. So please consider joining the Stealth Army, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.